Wow, look what I get to wake up to.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. We're going to talk about an issue that I saw a long time ago, multiple times. I didn't know what it was. And it's something that might save your butt, or hopefully someone you know. I'm going to light my favorite candle. It's got that men's cologne. And we'll get a little bit of sage going here real quick. And I want to give some thank yous out there too. Alright, this is, what's it called? Not white sage, it's called, oh man, I just forgot the name of it. Winter sage? No, I don't think that's it either. It's right here. Oh, I forgot the name of this type of sage. Alright. Alright, so let me read something off here real quick. Alright, so number one, I want to thank my subscribers. I'm now at 1,004, so it's gone up again, and I already got a tan. It has been so freaking sunny here, and of course today it was cloudy, but I've been going out in the sun almost every freaking day for like a week, and it has been crystal clear skies. I'm gonna upload a video, and you'll see it, or it'll be either after this or before this. So either way, there was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I might. Let's see here. Where's the notes? It's kind of random. Kind of got a random thing. Going to be going out to Scottsdale, Arizona. I still live in Scottsdale. I went to ASU, Arizona State in Tempe, which isn't too far away. I got an offer out there, and that's all I'm going to say for now. And there's a very strong chance I'm going to be moving very soon. Okay, I'm going to leave that now, but that won't really matter for you guys because you could be anywhere in the world and watch my YouTube channels. So I'm going to give a shout out. Alright, I want to give a shout out to some new subscribers. Depopulation Nation, TOLRAF TV, that's literally what it's called. And to Liberty Talk with Odessa, although I might have already thanked that person. And I want to, Joyce Adina, thank you guys for subscribing, I appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone for subscribing. I'm actually finally past my first mark, which is 1,000. I'm very happy about that. Alright, so this video is going to be about, it was stimulated by a video that I just making right now. I'm editing. Alright, you know how narcissists really like to fuck people over? Like, okay, here's the number one goal of a narcissist. I mean, it's just what they are, it's what they do. And I think if you could understand this, you'll understand how fucked up they are, and you need to get away from them. Their number one goal is to destroy you, just to completely, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, did I say physically yet? To just destroy you, because they're jealous of you. It's because they're just, because honestly, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. They're demons. Here's the deal. I could say they're fucked up people, but they're not fucked up people. It's because they're not people. They're demons. I'm not kidding. I know you guys think I'm joking. There's a lot of people talking about it online now. These are people, or these are physical bodies. People call them meat suits. And I was like, what are you talking about? Until I saw it. When I saw it with my own eyes, it's like this body walking around, but there's nothing inside. There's no spirit. There's no soul. There's just emptiness, darkness. There's a demon that controls them. So I'm going to leave that at that. But here's something I noticed years ago when I first moved to the Bay Area. So I used to go to coffee shops a lot. I used to do a lot of writing. I've written, I think, 5 books now. And always working, and I did a lot of reading, especially in my 20s, 30s, and early 40s. Like, always reading, always learning, always, going. And so I'd meet a girl either online, and we'd meet at a coffee shop in the city, or I'd just be at the coffee shop and I'd bump into someone, right? And we'd start a conversation. And one of the first things, not first thing, but one of the things I always ask, like, where are you from? Like, oh, I'm from the East Coast, or I'm from the Midwest, or I'm from the South, or I'm from, wherever, like, far away. I was like, oh, cool. And then I would say, well, what brought you out here? I can't tell you how many times I have heard this from girls, and I'm sure it's happening the other way around too, I'm sure. I'm like, well, I met this guy, I fell in love. I'm like, Okay, and they'd always say it like kind of like, oh, it was a bad decision. And he convinced me to move out here. I was like, well, why do you say it like it's a bad thing? Like, well, because 6 weeks later or 6 months later, he kicked me out, and I didn't have enough money to go home. And here's another interesting thing I found out is they would say things, and I'm not close to my family, so I had no one to call. So I was stuck. I had a job here, but I didn't have enough savings to move back, and the rent out here is so outrageous that every dime I make, which is true, goes to rent. And so this is what a narcissist will do. They will target someone, and this is part of their targeting. They're going to study your history. They'll ask you, oh, are you close to your family? Are you close to your mom? Do you have a lot of close friends? Are your friends rich? In other words, can they help you out if you're in a bind? Because they're going to put you in a bind, okay? And I kept hearing this story over and over, like, oh my God, like that's so fucked up. And I actually have heard it from a couple guys now that they think about it. And I just thought, what a weird thing to keep hearing this. Well, it's because this narcissist do this shit to you on purpose. I'm going to tell you, and I'm making this video because I think someone who needs to hear this right now, this is going to save your ass, okay? And I'm going to say something else real quick before I forget it. Here's another thing narcissists will do. So number one, they target you. They want to make sure. They love it when they've got a person who doesn't have any close ties for whatever reason. They're not close to their family or they don't have family. They want you as isolated as possible. And if you're not already isolated, they're going to make you isolated. And one of the things they're going to do is they'll make friends with your friends, right? So this is my friend or my boyfriend or girlfriend, and you bring them in, right? And they bond with, and they're really good at gaining rapport with people. They're really good at that. And then what they slowly do, they're also really good at slipping in that evil, like they're a snake in the grass, that little whisper of negativity about you, right? And then they start slowly turning your friends against you on an unconscious level, that your friends are just kind of like, so-and-so's so great, and why are you treating him this way? And you're like, no, you don't understand. The problem is you, the target, don't, unless you're really aware of what narcissism is. You yourself don't understand what's going on until it's too late. So they'll even get your family to turn against you. All right, I'll give you. Here's what I know. It sounds horrible, but it's true. My mom would turn my brothers and sisters against all of us against each other. So when one person's not there, she's talking to this person, talking shit about that person. And then when you're not there, they talk shit to this person. Well, my little brother Joey taught this to me. He goes, haven't you ever noticed how mom will talk shit about someone when they're not there? I'm like, well, yeah. He goes, and when you're not there, they talk shit to that person. So I was in kickboxing at the time, and her boyfriend really got into it, was coming to the gym, and he built some stuff for us, a ring, and and he was actually in my corner for, I know it was for one fight. I think it was 2 fights now that I think about it. Yeah, in Sacramento and Bakersfield. And he was really getting into it. Well, my mom can't have that. Remember, narcissists are all about divide and conquer, right? They have to control everyone. They have to keep everyone separate from each other, right? And here's how they do it. So my brother goes, well, because I'm like, why is, my mom's boyfriend name was Mikey. I'm like, why is Mikey so pissed off at me? He goes, well, don't you know what mom's doing? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Well, she's been talking hella shit about you to him. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because we were getting along really good. A narcissist's number one fear is that anyone in the group gets close to another person, because then you start to communicate. They cannot have that. Because if you guys start sharing notes, you go, hey, wait a minute. Now you start seeing who the real enemy is, or the real fucked up person is, right? They can't have that. And then my brother goes, and then when Mikey's not in the room, then she talks to you and says, Mikey's talking shit about you. So then when he walks in the room, you're looking at him all pissed off, and he's looking at you pissed off, and oh, it's true. And the minute he said that, oh, no kidding. And I wish you would have went and talked to him and explained this to him. Hopefully, who knows, maybe he's watched this video. I don't, it's possible. So that's how they conquer and divide. So what a narcissist will do is they will isolate you. And one of the ways they do it is getting you to move out of your city, out of your county, if possible, out of state, if possible, across country, or to another country. Now you're completely reliant on them. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. Only do something like that if you've got a lot of money to where you could pick up and leave and move and get your own place across country just like that. You don't have to save money. You don't got to find a job. You could be without a job for 6 months if you have to. Because I'm telling you, if you leave all your friends and family and you move to another county, another state, across country, or to another country, you're going to be dependent on that person right there. If you realize you're going to be dependent on them, don't do it. Don't do it. Let that be your sign to be like, nope. Tell them, I'm going to tell them, well, why don't we, and don't tell them this part. Don't tell them you're going to save up money. Because here's what they do. When you move out there, they're going to find ways to get that money from you. They're going to say, oh, can I borrow it? Oh, well, I've got to raise your rent. This actually happened to me. Oh, I've got to double your rent. I've got to do this, and you got to start paying for this. They'll find a way to drain your account so you are fucking dependent on them. And that's the number one thing a narcissist was trying to do. They want you to be dependent on them so they can pull your strings and fuck with you, and now you're stuck and you've got nowhere to go. This literally happened to me. My own mom did this to me. I was living with my dad. Well, she would call every week. Oh, your dad's going to hurt you. Your dad's going to do something mean to you. You know, blah, blah, blah. This went on for a whole year. And at the literally, I moved on, I think it was May 5th, and then I ended up moving out on May 5th. So there was a whole thing that was set up. And at the very end, she said, you can move in back with me. I know your dream is to go to college. You can live here for rent free. So you can go to college full time and just work a part-time job and save some money to get a car, et cetera, et cetera. And I did. First morning, oh, I've got to charge your rent. I mean, it wasn't that much. It was about, I think, $150. And I was like, oh, cool. That's fair. And then the next month, I got to double your rent. I'm like, wait, what? Because back then, like, it wasn't the whole place cost $650. Now, this was a long time ago when rent was reasonable. And there was like 1, 2, 3, 4 adults living there, right? So it was like, well, why am I paying all this money when, so-and-so's in the union making way more than me? You're managing a restaurant. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And then the next month, she bumped it up again, a third of that. So now my money's getting drained. And then she found that I had a savings, and then she started making me pay for shit. And it was just, next thing you know, I had no fucking money. I don't even think, oh, mom, yeah. My mom's she's not here no more, but she's a narcissist. Or was a narcissist for sure, like the extreme kind. So next thing you know, I'm in the hospital, and when I get out, she's like, hey, you can't live here. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I was living with my dad. I had a great job, had my own fucking room. I mean, it was just fucking a great deal. And she convinced me to move. She tricked me to move back in. Now, this went on for about 6 months or more. This was quite a while this went on. It didn't just happen overnight. And here's the other thing. While I was in the hospital, she forged a signature on my car and she sold it. That's how fucked up they are. And you're thinking, well, why didn't you just go to the police? Well, because I was mentally beaten down from childhood, and this is one of the things a lot of people don't understand. Number two, I was pretty young. I think I was only like 19 or 20 years old. I wasn't that old, and it was my fucking mom. It never crossed my mind to go to the police. It wasn't even that, but it was because I didn't feel that I could. It didn't even cross my mind. No one even brought it up. None of my friends, neighbors, relatives, nobody. And so I was fucked. Think about that. Narcissists are fucked up people. I'm going to end this with that. It's probably a negative note, but I think it gets the message across. If you're thinking of leaving your home, even if you move in with someone, oh God, my last narcissist tried to pull this bullshit on. Why don't you move in with me? And I'm like, no, dude, I got to have my own space. Because I got my business. I got to have my own, quiet space. And he kept pushing. I looked at him like, yeah, because I actually had another person do that to me. When I was in my early 20s, he convinced me to move in with him. He had a 2-bedroom apartment. And literally one fucking day, he's like, man, you got to move out. And I'm like, really? Why? What happened? Like, nothing happened. That was the fucked up part. Luckily, though, I had a friend that had a house. He lived with me. Like, literally, I called him up. He said, no problem. So I packed my shit and moved out. And the guy's like, wait, what? Like, just like that? I'm like, no, you asked me to move, so I fucking moved. Ended up being better for me. It was a great deal financially, too. So, but the point being is, don't do it. Don't move in with someone unless you've got a ton of money saved up to where you can move out on the drop of a fucking hat and you don't have to worry about it. If you don't have that kind of money, don't move in with someone. I'll tell you that right now. Because if they leave and now you're left paying the rent, or if they, all the rent for a place where you're paying half or a third, you're screwed. Okay? Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Start looking out for yourself. Start being wise. Stop being this fucking dumb. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm really trying to hammer it home. Stop being this dumb, naive. Oh, well, they're nice. All narcissists are nice for the first few months until they trap you and they've got you stuck. God bless you guys. Stay smart. Stay away from the narcissist. Bye.